Welcome to the Stay Ready Real Estate Podcast, where we stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm Emeka, your host, and this podcast is all about real estate, investing in real estate. I invest in multifamily, and I'm here to show you that regular people can invest in real estate. You don't need to have billions or millions. It's regular people like you and I who can invest in real estate today. So on this podcast, you'll hear from myself, as well as I'll bring different real estate professionals on from around the world to talk about their investing journey, strategies, market insights, or how they got into real estate so you can get started today as well. Stay ready, my friends. Hope you enjoy.
What's going on? It's your boy, Emeka here in Las Vegas at BPcon 2025, right? That's why I'm not in the same setting. And that's why I have a BPcon shirt, right? And I left my Stay Ready shirt. But today we're going to be talking about that, right? We're going to talk. I'm here at the conference, and I think it's very important to always be networking, always be trying to learn, always be learning is what I say. But number one, right, going to conferences is so important because, the things that they're teaching are absolutely phenomenal. It teaches you, big macro trends, what's going on in the economy, what people think, what these thought leaders think, like Dave Meyer, who's a data analyst, and what he provided for us was amazing. But also the networking is very important, very, very important. So when I come to these conferences, I usually try to network just because typically speaking, everything that they're going to be talking about, they're most likely already had a podcast on. They're posting consistent content on it, right? It could be from, sharing what they think about the data, what's good about the economy, what's going to happen in the next couple of years. And they already post that stuff typically just throughout the year. So, they were spending all this money, want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. So I think a lot of where your money is worth is going to the hallways, meeting with people, going into the little people pay for booths. So making sure you're talking and building relationships with those people, because you never know how someone there might help you. And if you go there and not network, not get a new contact, not try to, be social, I usually say it's a waste of your money because you never know if that's going to be your next partner that you're talking to. So that's a few things. That's a few nuggets. That's whenever I go to conferences, that's kind of what I focus on now since I have a little bit more experience. I'm not like that experienced, but I have enough experience to know, I don't need to, you know, educate myself for 2-3 years and have a knowledge for us before I do a deal. I've already done deals. I'm pretty brave about, taking the chance, I should say. Let's say a calculated chance. No one's perfect, right? But that's number one. But I did want to talk about something that one of the speakers said, and forgive me, I do not remember the speaker. Let's see if it's on my phone. But it just gives you some financial facts about, 65-plus-year-old people today. So the median retirement savings is 164,000. The median net worth renter equals about 10,400. Homeowner 400,000. Social Security represents 50% of income. 97.1% still carry some type of debt. 15.6% still have student debt. 41% still have mortgage debt. The median debt is 34,000. 11.2 million are working or seeking to work. Remember, this is people 65 plus. 1 in 4 retirement age individuals have $0 saved. 17 million living at or below the poverty level. 17 million are currently living at or below the poverty level. So if you just think about that and put it in perspective, right? Most people who are in, I would say, typically like their late 20s to early 40s, they are in that income climb, right? They're going up the corporate ladder, have side hustles, figuring out as much, make as much money as you can, right? That is very important. And if you just rely on your W-2, it's kind of scary because you really never know what the future holds. Google and Amazon and all these ginormous companies were started, not that long ago, right? Not that long ago, right? I lived in an age where it didn't exist and then where it came. And whenever that happened, how many jobs did that take? I have no idea. But now AI is here. And right now, I think we're slowly seeing the effects of layoffs. They said today or yesterday that wages are higher than they've ever been. However, there's been layoffs, like 11,000 people is a lot of people. Think about that, 11,000 people from one job. So there's 11,000 here, 7,000 here. I think there was like 250 jobs that got reduced because of inaccurate counting. So, these are a lot of jobs. All of those people, let's say a good chunk of those people are going to be, people with families and they have mouths to feed. And this is why it's so important to have that extra income. And with real estate is the long-term game, right? It's a long-term game. You're not here to get rich quick. It's also here to propel you to do more, right? Because real estate typically isn't, if you're trying to make as much money as possible, if you're trying to build the biggest business that you ever can, real estate's not going to be the main factor, right? It's going to help you get there. But once you use real estate to get a business, that's when things completely change for you. However, at BPcon, it just reassures you that, if you just stick with it and take action, right? Coming to a conference is a start. Stick with it, take action. Everything's gonna work out well. And real estate is one of the most simple ways that you can do it. And quite frankly, it's not hard, right? It's simple. It's not hard. But for some reason, most people have like a mental block or they think too much. And, listen to the podcast, ask me questions. I can give you people to talk to if you don't like to me. But if you stick with real estate, ignore all the noise, and then great things will happen. It won't happen in, 5 to 10 years, but maybe 8 to 12. And that's if you just consistently buy a property here and there. You don't need to do a property here for 3 months because it pays you 3 ways. Debt paid on, obviously the rental income, and then appreciation. There's not many things that can happen that way, as well as all the tax benefits. So in this episode, my challenge to you is book time at a conference, figure out when the next BPcon, show up, I may be there, and then also network with people while you're there, or network with people now and just get started now. And number 1, 2, and number 3, like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to the Stay Ready Real Estate Podcast, where we stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you enjoyed this podcast today, please give me a like and subscribe, and tune in next week so you can hear another one. If you ever want to reach out to me, I'd love to talk to you about real estate. If you're ever interested in any of the deals that I have, I'm based here in Central Florida, reach out. My information is below. Hope to see you next week. Stay ready, my friend.